And have you?
I've dated white women before. I have no problem with dating white women.
Just one, and it was high school, and it lasted for a day. Would you date white?
No.
Do you think the majority of black women are cool with you being open?
No, because black men cheat. But it does block off the idea of having an open relationship.
I dated a fine black man who did not cheat on me. Oh, actually, no.
As someone who dates black guys, how do you deal with the
fetishization?
Yeah.
Because often I would find myself feeling so guilty because in my head, I'm taking a black person, a black man, a good black man, a really great black man from black women, and I felt horrible. Of course, one day I would want an equitable relationship where no one has to question interracial relationships, right?
Right.
We cannot get to that conclusion yet without that journey of understanding and healing that racial trauma.
Can I shift this table over to me a little bit?
Yeah,
go
please
ahead.
do.
We're recording. Do you want
I
to
know.
intro the pod?
I know. We forgot.
You've now ruined the carpet, so that's good.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're starting off on a great
Oh
foot.
my
Hey
God.
guys, it's Moderately Fly.
Here we
No,
go.
but for real though, welcome back everybody. This is episode 3. We in this thing. We here.
We're here. The devil was working overtime, but we're
devil.
here.
Yeah,
We made it.
He was working, man. He was really working. Today was hot as hot.
Hot as hell.
You can find food, but where do you eat it?
Oh my God.
You know?
That was
Nowhere.
the biggest thing. Like with the world opening back up, why are the restaurants still not having people inside?
The world isn't, because the world isn't opening up.
No, but
It's
it
New York
is.
City.
New York is though. That's what I'm saying.
New York. That's not the
Oh, we're
world.
so this is how it's gonna be?
Ericka,
Oh my goodness!
Ericka,
Hold
come
on.
on now.
Whoa!
Is this how it's gonna be?
the
What?
world. I was a little tight at it because I was like, the world is opening back
Are you all
up.
forgetting that
Listen,
India and literally Brazil are still level 4ing out here?
That's true, but what do they have on my Lollapalooza concert list?
What?
do they
You're
have on
not
my,
even gonna go? Why are you even?
know.
Don't defend something that you're not even passionate
It's
about.
just
What?
it's just the tour dates and things are opening back up. So I'm like, why can't we eat our Chipotle in this damn restaurant?
I mean, it's the same reason why there are people who are, who are contesting the CDC guidelines of, yes, you don't have to wear your mask. But there are people who start wearing their mask, right?
That's true.
And I think it's a matter of understanding that there's still going to be anxieties about people.
Yeah.
There are still going to be anxieties about people not being comfortable outside of their homes, which is totally fine. And I think that's in their right.
That's true.
If you're wondering who this young woman is, we should probably give a slight introduction. Now,
They found me on the street.
how
They
can
found
we
me.
introduce you? What are
For
you
real.
comfortable with being?
for real.
Introduced us?
For
Yeah.
real.
What do you mean?
I mean, are we gonna get into what
I'm confused.
they used to date?
Oh
Hey.
my God.
I mean,
We're
no, we
starting
might as
there.
well.
We should put that out
Yeah.
there.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. No, because I was actually, thank you, Eric.
We probably
course.
should have
Well,
spoken
fuck.
about this.
Yeah, let's
I
just
was,
say that. Let's just say that.
I was gonna mention something, but I wanted to keep the spontaneity for the podcast. I was
Totally.
gonna mention something about when we get into our topic.
Yeah.
And I think it would be important to filter our relationship in
Absolutely.
there and our past in there.
Can I just say really quickly, hi, my name is Ericka Serrano.
Go ahead,
Ericka
do that.
Shaira Serrano. I'm Filipino. Very proud representative.
Yeah.
I'm a Taurus sun, Virgo moon, Gemini rising. So
God.
Here we go.
Here we are. No, that shit matters though. That shit matters.
Right.
Yeah, this is Ericka, y'all. This is the full Moderately Fly podcast for today.
Yeah. What the fans don't know is
no, we don't have to get into that.
no.
kinda-
It
no,
needs
we
to be
kinda
said.
have
Y'all,
to.
we
It
only
needs
have
to
40
be
minutes,
said.
and I have some thoughts about
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. It needs
I
to be
really
said,
wanted
though.
you to come today, man.
It
I
needs to
really
be
did.
said.
I really did, Ericka.
Totally cool.
And I was gonna say, damn, the devil's really working again if you cancel. Because
Ericka was one of the founding members of Moderately
I'm
Fly.
the CEO.
It used to be us three, and some things happened, and
yeah,
we decided that it was best for everyone if we all went our separate ways.
Well, you two
Or-
went together in your separate
We went
ways.
together.
You
in separate
unionized, and I
You're right.
separated
we
myself.
unionized.
Which
Right.
is technically, as a Gemini rising, is technically what I tend to do anyway. So
Right.
We unionized. That's so true. But hold on, I got something for y'all. Maybe I'll
yeah, let's
solve
get
this
into it.
or
Let's get into
All right.
it.
let's get into it, right?
Get into
Got
it.
some sweat, I see. No.
Oh no, it's
No,
hot
I'm
as
kidding.
hell in here.
Oh, I'm great. I'm doing all right.
POV. Guy says to the girl, I really like you. She says, why?
That's the
I've
that's the
seen that.
text thread.
I've seen that floating
That's the
around.
thread.
I don't. I
the thread.
don't understand it outwardly, like externally, but on the inside, I get it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Why?
I think it's hilarious.
If I'm saying I like you,
Mhm.
you gotta text me back with, either I like you. You gotta confirm it. You can't just why. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't think people are Well, I mean,
I'm
unless
gonna
they
say-
are.
People are
that's really
texting.
brave.
This is getting.
You
This is a
think
real
people are
text.
actually saying why?
Oh,
I think
believe
people.
it.
I think people are maybe asking, but I don't think they're actually. Are they really asking?
I think
I've had women ask me why.
Why
before.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I think the ladies are saying why. And I'll tell you why. I don't think it's a bad question to follow up with because men, I'm not even just trying to count. We can't really express emotion like how we want to. You can't.
Okay.
No, not like how we want to. We can't really express emotion, or we're not so good at it. And the follow up to that is you're just different.
Oh gosh.
It's just something about you. It's just
different.
It's just something about your vibe. You just.
Oh no.
That's not enough, bro.
Oh,
That's
God.
not
No, you
enough.
gotta give a little more than that.
And for the guys who really probably do mean that, it won't stick because
No,
it's too much. It's too bullshit. It really is too bullshit.
Mm.
Now let me help you out a little bit. I mean, if you're waiting for her to arrive at the date, you're sitting there at the table, you see her come in, and you get to that part where you're like, I like you, and she goes, why? I don't know. Maybe drop when you were coming in, I saw you hold the door for the elders that were in front of you.
Yeah,
Something
there's
specific.
definitely
Not really.
potential for
Yeah.
game. You can definitely
Absolutely.
spit game.
Not really,
Specific. You have
Yeah,
to you have
sure.
to zone in on something that's very specific.
Think.
But I don't appreciate
My mom
the
would
question.
appreciate that.
Don't ask me that. You need to
The why?
confirm first before I get
What
into
if
my
it
why.
what if it wasn't just why? What if it was haha comma why?
The ha-ha? If you said
Yes.
ha-ha,
Yes.
we can't see each other anymore.
What if she do
LOL
that?
comma why?
Do you?
and you spell out the
Do you, Eric? Do you want
I'm
the,
different.
Do you want the,
What?
do you want the boy stop? You want that like as a response?
No, he wants affirmation.
I want. Yeah, you need to go ahead and
affirmation.
just confirm.
It's
If
a
I'm
case
saying
by
I
case
like
basis.
you need to be like, oh yeah, I like you too. I'm feeling you too, or da 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 da. Whatever.
Okay.
You need to just go ahead and say that.
Just say it.
The
Brand energy.
why? The why? It's never going to be good enough. It's never going to be. No matter what I say.
That's not.
Get
That's not. I
creative.
don't think that's. I also don't think that's a positive like foot forward, especially if you're just starting out. Because that's. I'm assuming that's, it's the genesis of the relationship. I'm assuming because,
Yeah, it's early.
you're asking. Yeah, you're
So
asking.
y'all
you're
y'all
saying
disagree
something.
with the why?
Yeah, don't ask me why.
Nah,
For
challenge
the
me.
most part.
Challenge
Challenge me.
Wait, you agree with the why? Why?
I kind of like it sometimes.
Well, why?
I kind of like it sometimes. It opens up conversation. It really it does. I think it opens up that.
What do you mean opens up conversation?
It opens
You
up
should've-
conversation of like how you feel about this person, even though y'all can be on your second date, your third date. It's like that. I think girls appreciate that, and vice versa, guys appreciate that too. It's much more than it's much like if you want to be with somebody. I think you just have to come with it. If you're not gonna say it, maybe show it. Then that's why I'm
Yeah.
interested in the why. I am interested in it, but I'm not interested in the why if you're very stuck up. If you feel like you holding all the status right now anyway, and you're just asking me just because I need to court you and I need to give you everything. Like I'm not interested in that why. But
Yeah.
if you genuinely like want to know and you hit me with the why, and it can be like a little flirtatious thing. We can go into flirting.
Like we said, it has the potential to like
Yeah.
you could like spit game. Like
Yeah.
it has the potential for that, but anything I say is not going to be good enough.
Right, for the most part. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's just not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my gosh,
But
do we agree on
Speaking
that?
of somebody who likes somebody,
Yeah.
oh my bad, y'all had a moment. Go ahead, have that moment. Again.
No, I said, oh my gosh, do we agree? That wasn't like a flirtatious
Whose
moment,
phone
okay?
just went off right now?
Wow.
Is that
interesting.
Snell? One of the
He's an actor too, so it's
one
kind
of
of
the hosts of
wild.
the podcast?
Kind of wild how he just that happened.
Jesus
So
Christ.
he should know
sorry.
better than that. He's an actor, so
Right.
Speaking of somebody who likes somebody again, I think Kylie likes Travis Scott again.
They're back dating, right?
Yeah, but they're in an open relationship.
I didn't even know that they had broken up.
You didn't?
This is a travesty.
Yeah,
Oh my
Jesus.
god!
Still nailed it. Right on there.
my God, the puns.
She said,
But yeah, so they're back dating.
They're
and
back.
They have an open relationship.
yes. I mean, can you leave a bag that big?
Wait, how do you guys know that they're dating? Did Kylie text you, or did Travis or any of them text you, or?
No,
Oh.
the shade room.
Oh
Shade
my
Room.
god.
It's on the blog. It's on
Complex.
I might just walk out right now. You're getting your
Hollywood
information on
Unlocked.
Shade Room.
Come on, Erica.
Okay, all right.
You know, yeah, they're. But I read it as Kylie's back with Travis, but Travis is in an open relationship.
Well, for most guys, that's probably the case. But you got to think Kylie is a hot commodity out there.
Oh my
bro.
god!
She's a billionaire, bro.
yeah.
So maybe it's actually for both of them.
Like,
But what do you mean?
you mean they're
Yeah,
actually
like
gonna
they're both open.
in an open relationship.
I can believe that. I can believe they're both open.
I can believe that too.
Do you
Now I can at least.
Do you think that like that open relationship thing is something like solely for white girls?
No. I listened to an excellent Black women-led podcast, and they're all polyamorous.
But do you think the majority of Black women are cool with you being open?
I do not have enough information to talk about this, so I'm going to sit this one out.
Okay, Snell, in your experience.
No, because Black men cheat.
Whoa.
Oh Christ!
I heard a chuckle.
I'm not kidding.
I heard.
I'm not kidding, but we have to take that into consideration. Like it may be a stereotype, but it does block off the idea of having an open relationship.
I would really.
Let me take that back again, because I know all my dudes gonna be like, man, come on, Chris, come on, Snell, come on, bro.
That's a dominant generalization.
Don't dive into that narrative, bro.
Hey,
but like,
I just want to say,
in general,
it's something to like consider. Like that's why we can't get that off. I can't get off. Hey, I want to be in an open relationship.
Can I just interject saying that I dated a fine Black man who did not cheat on me? Oh, actually, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow. The truth gets revealed on the pod.
Whoa, and I'm not the one drinking.
Yo, she's just honest all the time. Just honest all the time.
But I want to get into that. I want to get into that because
Open
I think that like white girls specifically, I feel like white girls will put up with more, and I think
their tolerance is higher.
Their tolerance is way higher than Black women. I think maybe that's why they're more quote unquote desirable to Black men,
because they're easier to like conquer almost.
It's just like if
or control even.
Yeah, it's like if you don't want to be held accountable.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
That sounds like issues.
No, but I'm serious. Like you grow up with this idea, like as a Black dude, you grow up with this idea that white girls are gonna do whatever you ask them to do. Do whatever you want.
Well, my experience growing up as a Black man,
Ericka, fuck. So, wait, say that line again. Oh, my bad. You were making a thought.
No, please go ahead.
You sure?
I'm just a guest here.
No, say that line.
No,
again.
I was saying that I feel like white women their tolerance to bullshit is so high. They can deal with a lot more. You know, if you come back and you cheated, they might forgive you more easily than. A Black woman would. And I feel like maybe that's a reason why they're more desired, quote unquote.
I would. Are you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
I would like to say, I think that could come from a place of wanting to be accepted. Because I think that there is definitely a power dynamic there that's completely off kilter, right? And I think coming from, I mean, I'm not white, so I don't really know the experience, but my proximity to it, from my understanding, is you'd like to be accepted by something that's almost, it's a terrible word to use, but exotic, or that's not, natural,
it's
right?
not what you're used
right,
to.
Right, And so now I think it's, yeah?
Oh my God. She told us not to interrupt her today, because we've been always doing it, from our older episodes. And she was like, don't do it today.
Hold on, I just lost my thought. That I think now it's even more that wanting to be accepted or desirable is even more exacerbated, because there are so many ways that white folk are being called out. Most of the time, deserved. But sometimes it's not deserved, right? Where there's so many ways to, and I can see why a white person would say, I'm being racially targeted, even though that's just not possible. But I think a lot of it might stem from that. Again, I'm not white, so that's how I kind of view it as.
No, yeah, you're not lying when you bring that up, Eric. Because I'm just thinking about.
Have you dated white girls in the past? I
have, but it was just one, and it was high school, and it lasted for a day.
And have you?
Yeah, I've dated white women before. I have no problem with dating white women. I think they're fine.
Totally.
They're fine. I don't think that one is better than the other one, or. I love my Black queens. I'm dating a Black woman now for like 5-6 years. I love her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I bring this topic up because my girlfriend's brother actually just started dating this woman who
we love family affairs.
Yeah, who is white. And when she told me about it, or when she found out, she was so hurt, devastated almost. Yeah. Like I couldn't believe how hurt she was.
Was she disappointed?
Disappointed. But it bothered her to her core.
It really did.
It did. We spoke about it for like 40 minutes, and I just didn't understand the hurt. I was like, I don't understand that. I was like, where does that come from? So we got into it a little bit. You know what I mean? it's just so odd. Like my mom growing up would always tell me, don't ever bring a white girl home.
How much you taking into consideration shared experiences between couples?
That's huge. I mean, like take her brother, for instance. Her brother is, they're a very affluent family. Like he's very well read. He went to Princeton. Like, you know what I mean? He's traveled. So sometimes I feel like finding, a Black queen who has that same level of experience or level of type of experiences is really difficult.
Yeah.
And not saying they're not out there, but I feel like it's harder
more
to
limited.
find. Yeah. And if you don't feel like searching, then you're going to go for someone who has those shared experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Well, can we chime in with Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave, how you
Dave's
feeling?
behind the camera.
Dave.
Hello, you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you, bro.
Perfect. I'm a little shy, so
It's all
Oh,
good.
it's okay, Dave. We're drinking. It's
We're
cool.
drinking. I'm gonna sip while you talk, man.
it's funny because it's like this is a topic I know a lot about from different sides, from the exoticism that you said earlier
Okay.
to dating white women, Indian women, Asian women.
Yeah.
It's a very different beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most, and you all are making great points.
And we haven't even started yet, to be honest.
Yeah, which is incredible. I'm like, yo, they touching on some like
We haven't even
great.
started.
I'm like, oh my god.
Right.
I'm in the group chat for the office, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to blow their mind. But yeah, it's different.
In your experience with white women, do you feel like you're constantly having to explain?
Did you have to work harder or smarter?
Right. When you were with them, did you have to explain a whole lot and like about culture, things like that?
Or how many times does those things come up?
In a good relationship, all the time.
In
Okay.
a good relationship.
Good relationship. All the
I
time.
like the
That's
specificity
interesting.
of that.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you for
interesting.
distinguishing that. I
Because-
think that's very important.
Yeah, because they definitely want to know what's the right way to handle the situation. Like,
Right.
they want to be informed. So it's like when you break it down back to the date, it's like you're teaching someone. It's like teaching someone how to have sex with you.
Right.
How to like live your culture.
And you would want that, right?
Yeah.
Were you okay? You were okay with that all the time?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, whatever.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
that comes from being exoticized first. I have to go to therapy
Right.
Right.
to figure that out.
Right.
Which is, sorry, please, David.
Oh no, that was
Dave.
like, a quick story. It was like me in a bar, just like hanging out in like a circle form, and the girl just wants to like dance with me. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm going in with her, and it's like, it's
Right,
good.
right.
I'm like, got it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, that was great, thank you. I was like, what? And her boyfriend comes up,
Oh.
and her
yeah.
boyfriend's like, yeah, man, thank you for that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
No, but that's
That's
a big
awful.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I felt I didn't realize that was happening in one of my previous relationships with a white woman.
Mhm.
And I had friends telling me that was happening, that I was being what's it?
Fetishized?
Yeah,
Fetishized.
fetishized,
Exoticized.
exoticized, all those things. And I was like, I just thought she was really into me, but not really. There's like that allure of being, a Black man and the muscles and the whatever.
Are you not painting the picture as to why Iman would be disappointed in her brother?
Oh, my girlfriend Iman?
Yes.
No, I get why. I can understand why she would be disappointed. I can see why.
Mhm.
Because she explained it to me as like, as a Black woman, she's like, well, what's wrong with us? Like, you were raised by a Black woman. Your sister's a Black woman.
Yeah.
Usually they say you go after people who are, like your parents.
That's true.
Like, you try to find, as a Black man, I know that I've looked for women who have the same traits or similar traits as my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't understand it. She didn't understand it. And she was like, well, we raised him to, really value Black women. And it just feels like that they're not valued.
That's very valid.
He has dated Black women though, right?
He has.
Why do you say it like that?
Because it's you really want to get into it. It's like, are they fully Black? Probably not. No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to, that's a whole other topic for another day. But yeah, they're Black. But this is his first experience with a white woman. and it just feels really real. And my girlfriend was just explaining to me that it's just shocking to her.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to preface this with, again, not black, so I don't want to be some sort of, I don't want to take space that's not mine. So but I guess a small thing that I noticed, thing is such a terrible word, but I first want to acknowledge that I agree. I don't think Black women, for the most part, are appreciated or valued in the capacity that they need to be, right? And I think that why I sympathize and empathize so much with Iman's and her family's values, right, is I've as a Filipino woman, I've also heard that same rhetoric, right, from my own parents. And I think where it really does stem from
about dating Black guys,
about dating any other race aside from Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so I think where that really does come from, and of course we don't have to get into this because this is a heavy thing, is that racial trauma and that racial oppression and that racial violence. And for years and years and years of that violence influencing, even up until now, the way that Black folk are seen, the Black diaspora is seen. And I think that it cannot go without saying that I think white people and non-Black folk, when they're entering into a relationship with a Black person, there must be some understanding of I'm not going to know, I'm not going to understand, and I'm not going to be able to put myself in that exact same experience mindset. And so there is going to be a power imbalance. There's just going to be, that's just the unfortunate thing of it, right? But then also that acceptance and acknowledging that, I might actually have to work 10 times harder to be in this relationship so that it can feel that there's a leverage there, that there's a leveling out, so that it doesn't feel as if someone is constantly teaching me something, even though that is technically what we would want in a good relationship, in a prosperous relationship, right? In a prosperous relationship. But I see where you're coming from in that, of course, one day I would want an equitable relationship where no one has to question interracial relationships, right?
Right.
But I think we cannot get to that conclusion yet without that journey of understanding and healing that racial trauma that is still really prevalent and seen in today's media and in today's culture. And again, I completely understand where you're coming from. Is getting to that point, but there is a little bit of a journey, and we cannot expect that to be turned over overnight just because someone in your family member is dating. There is still some sort of like a surprise that's there.
Right.
But I think it's a good way to open the conversation. I have
to ask you, as someone who, you date Black guys.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Jeez. I don't know if that's I've only known you to be with Black men. I don't know, but you know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
put her out.
We'll just put that out there.
Let me sip.
Put that out there.
Let me sip.
But I have to ask you, as someone who dates Black guys, how do you deal with the what's the word? I can't say it.
Fetishization.
Yeah. How do you deal with that?
So that is something everyone knows that Chris and I used to date. That's actually something we used to talk about. How often I would feel, and I would kind of project that guilt onto him, which is terrible. And I should actually apologize for that, right? Because often I would find myself feeling so guilty because in my head, I'm taking a Black person, a Black man, a good Black man, a really great Black man from Black women. And I felt horrible. And I was trying to like dissect that and try to understand, because I have so much love for you, and I care about you so deeply, and I think you are such a significant figure in my life, that a lot of that had to help me overcome that feeling of wanting to also be someone who supports Black women, even though I don't really know the best way to do that for them. And then at the end of the day, also, Black women don't need my support. Who the fuck am I? Oh, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you
okay.
Whatever.
Sorry. Like, they don't need me to give a shit about them. They, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's that constant trying to find and figure out, how is it that I can be someone who is very supportive and who wants to create that space and who wants to make sure that they are allowed that space for anything, but at the same time, also for some reason I know it sounds so terrible, but it's just I don't know how it is, but I just always end up dating black men. I don't know how it happened.
There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I'm
we're
trying
not
to
saying it's wrong. That's great. There's nothing wrong with it.
She's like, I'm taking all of them from their rightful queens. I can't be doing this. I shouldn't be. Oh my God.
I just can't keep the black men off me. I'm a magnet. I can't keep them off me.
That's what I didn't want it to seem like. I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm a black man magnet. No, I'm not at all.
But with that being said, with all of what she just said, the work with Ericka, the racial trauma work with Ericka was easy. It was much easier. She was an ally in my eyes, versus being with a white woman and always like constantly having to teach. Ericka understood that if I was ever to come in contact with a cop and she was there, she knew that. She even told me, she was like, I would have to put myself in front of you because you're nothing to him. You're not deemed as credible. You're not deemed as trustworthy. So in those times when you are with your significant other who is white, you don't have time to go back and say, hey, you should have done this for me. You should have did this for me and stepped up. You know, I'm dead. Like, you know what I mean? I can't listen to you. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? And so that's the work that I think comes with being in an interracial relationship. And with Ericka, as much as she would express that, it pushed me away sometimes because I was like, no, I'm with you. Right. And I want to be with you. I don't care what nobody else say. I'm with you. But that was her way of really just being an ally to the community, to the black community, and knowing and understanding, acknowledging that she is with a black person.
What do you, flipping the same question back on you, how do you deal with, or how did you deal with, you know, I know how niggas is. Like, I know what they're saying. Like, oh yeah, you were the Asian girl.
Yeah, you know, it was a stereotypical. It was a stereotypical, oh, y'all good in bed, huh? Oh, she must be a freak. It was never, I was like, she taught me a lot. She's very smart. She's very giving. Right. It always jumped to sex. And no one ever gave me flack for like being with her in a bad way or anything. Yeah. I think just because people know me, they know, like, you know, I'm all about the heart of the matter, and, you know, just really rocking with people. And so I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get the damn, why you not dating a black queen? I never got that. I got more of the stereotypical, she's Asian, so she's freaky, so she's this. Oh, this is why you're with her. And I even got that from, if you guys don't know, this is all very interesting. I am in an interracial family. Did I say that right? I'm a part of an interracial family. Yeah. My mom married white, my stepdad, and even when I would go back home, they would make those jokes, or my stepsister, they would make those jokes of freaky Asian.
They did?
Sex.
I didn't know that.
Andrea's friends.
Are you serious?
Andrea's friends they would do that.
I didn't know that.
They were like, oh, we see you got you. I'd be like, she's Filipino.
I was always how?
Yeah.
How come I never heard that?
I'll say that was one of the things that I won't say her name, but you guys know one of my previous girlfriends was white. And that's something that I always got from my like homeboys all the time. They'd be like, oh wow, so she was like, she do whatever you say, right? And I'll be like, really? I mean, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, to me it wasn't, but that's how we're like brought up. Yeah, we're brought up to think that, like, through like, you know, music and TV and everything. We're like, oh, especially the freaky, like they're gonna, you know, they get a crazy head, whatever.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? And I think that goes into their like it drives their stock up. Like in the eyes of a black man, you're like, oh wow, like, so she's gonna do whatever I say, and those things that maybe I was afraid to say, like, or afraid to do, like, she's gonna be into it. Yeah, just because she's like, you know, what's the word again? Fetishized. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. What's your experience with that, Dave?
Nah, because you're right.
She did whatever I told her to do. I don't know about y'all, but she did it.
It's different. It's different. But it's like, you know, like you start to, and this is what it's like, you start breaking it down more. It's like you start seeing the person more. Yeah. It's not even like a skin color or like who.
Yeah.
What.
Yeah.
It's really, that's real. Like,
that's real.
I've had the white girl who said, tell me my ass is as big as a black girl.
Oh.
And you're like, you stop, be like, there's something wrong here. Yep. But under something, I'm gonna continue. But you know, you're like, no. Yeah. Then you have the white girl who be like, fuck you doing? Like, shut the fuck up and do your shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it's different. It's like, it's different strokes for different folks, as I say.
Hey.
Yeah. Kind of situation.
Hey.
Yes.
It's very it differs really just from every relationship.
It's person
really
to
depends on
person.
the person.
It's person to person, bro.
I had a question about you and Iman.
Yeah.
More towards you. Why were you disappointed?
Yeah, actually.
Did you ever get to that? Is it prejudice in your eyes?
Why was I disappointed?
Yeah.
In what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why did you contest her disappointment?
Oh,
her disappointment. Sorry.
I just didn't know where it was coming from. Like it was her brother is somebody who doesn't bring like a lot of girls home, doesn't like date seriously. And this was somebody who he felt comfortable enough like sharing with the family. Yeah. And I was like, damn, instead of being like happy for the dude, they're disappointed. I was like, this is the first girl he brought home since like high school and shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, like it's that much hurt? Like it shocked me, bro. I couldn't believe it. And you know, I grew up with I have a mom, like 4 sisters, you know what I mean? So I get that, but it was a different level of hurt that I haven't seen before.
Did you feel that Iman was being prejudiced? Because we can't be racist. Did you feel that she was being prejudiced?
I mean, if we're being honest, aren't we all a little prejudiced? Aren't we all?
There's always going to be some hint of bias.
Yeah, always.
Unfortunately.
Always.
But there is.
We're all prejudiced, but also like, you like what you like. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can't hold somebody. I can't be like, oh, you're black. Why aren't you dating a black girl? I could never ask that. I could never ask that question. Why? Who the fuck am I? Why would I ask that? No.
I don't know what kind of happiness you desire.
Yeah, no. Whoever's going to make you happy. That's it. At the end of the day, who's going to make you happy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a question for you, Ericka. Why would you date white?
No.
See, I was going to say
quick with it.
Quick with it.
Like,
I was gonna say, why wouldn't you date white? But I was like, let them hear you say it. That you would.
Would I date white? You know, I've constantly surrounded by white folk, and I am just.
Wait, why you have to say white folk? Why do you keep saying white folk?
Not folk.
Black folk. I'm constantly surrounded by white people because of the job that I'm about to lose in a week. Thank you. Looks dead into the camera. But I'm just never interested in what they have to offer. Never. Yeah. And I'm constantly surrounded by them, and it's just never interesting enough for me. Now, is there a problem in there? Maybe. A lot of other people's cultures interest me for some reason, but I will say specifically, white Americans do not interest me. White Europeans, a little bit of, I'm like, oh, that's because you have some sort of tether to some sort of, you know, I mean, it's a colonizer history, but it's still some sort of history that's attached there, some sort of culture that's attached to that. But for the most part, yes, I've found that I'm never intrigued when a white man is talking.
Wow.
Yeah. So
white Americans, huh?
Jeez.
White United States Americans, I guess, because there's also North America and South America. And there are white passing South Americans. Yes. Hey, let's talk about that too.
Snow, what do you date white girls? You're open to it. I'm
open to it.
You are open to it. Okay.
You're open.
Good.
Oh.
What?
No, that just.
Oh, was there energy
this
in
man,
that?
There was a little.
I didn't.
This
think so.
man,
a little energy, a little bite.
Oh, I didn't think
Really?
so. Sorry.
Yeah, did you saw this?
I didn't catch anything.
I didn't catch anything either.
Oh no, it was a little bite to it.
You're the third party, so I guess so. Maybe. Oh,
so you are okay with it?
I can't wait.
No, she did. No, she did.
I can't wait to review the footage.
So you are okay with it?
Right. She's like, oh yeah.
No. Okay, I'll take that. I'll acknowledge it. I appreciate the criticism. So I didn't realize.
But
so stupid. I hate this.
I know. I didn't.
These two, bro. No, but I ask. I want to ask you, what is it that you see, or if you see anything, or is it just like a person? Is it a person to person thing?
I haven't been interested in a white girl in a while, so I feel like the next time I am interested, it's probably going to be because of who she is.
Yeah.
More than me wanting to be with a white girl. Now, I have expressed to Ericka a couple times. Because we were open about this in our relationship. I was like, if I could, I would get a white girl with the ass. If I could.
You have said that.
I've said that multiple times. And that opens up the idea of, are white women the trophy?
Yeah, what is that?
You know what I mean?
What is that, right?
And it's not that
we got black girls with all that.
Yeah.
So like, why is it if I saw a white girl with the ass, like, yeah, I'm wifing that up.
See, I'm not coming from wife that up.
It's hit.
Yeah, I hit.
But that's for me. That's what it is for me. For me, it's not really a whole lot more than sexual.
Yeah,
For me.
yeah. I think that's where I might.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I could be in like a serious relationship.
Now, if I am in a serious relationship, it's because I trust you. I trust I don't have to do so much homework with you every day about racism, about what we're going through, about the next shooting. Like I genuinely feel comfortable around you and comfortable in this relationship to continue it with you. But other than that, I'm not gonna say it's always a fetish because I'm not really ever interested in white women, but I am open to it though. And if I ever come across, like I said, it'd be a heart to heart thing, kind of.
Yeah, Dave, what about you?
White women only, or different women that aren't?
In general,
It's different for me because it's like, you know, I had a mother who's like, my mother's Dominican, and she was telling me like, I want you to bring a Chinese woman home. That was her thing.
Okay.
And I would be like, okay, like, didn't understand as a kid.
Yeah.
And I got older and I was just like, why? And they see the things with China and it's like, what the hell? Like, how did she know? Because she don't know nothing about that. And then it was freaky because then it was like, you know, I brought a white girl home.
Yeah.
Brought a black girl home. And a Latina girl, she was like, don't bring no Latina girls back here. Which was crazy to me because she was like, it's a whole thing. And I was like, all right. Like, I'm a real nice guy. She's like, you can't handle it. I was like,
damn.
Yeah. But it's like, dating outside the culture is kind of one of those things like you got to teach. If you don't got to teach, it's cool.
Yeah.
But also it's kind of fun. Like I like teaching. You know, I like do this.
It's new. It's an experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that's exciting.
Yeah, but I guess the reason why I'm so critical of it is because relationships in and of themselves are so difficult already.
Yeah.
And just having to explain constantly something, maybe not even constantly, maybe it only is happening at the beginning of the relationship, and then eventually the white or non-black counterpart, eventually realizes, oh, I can do a lot of the studying on my own, right? But also, again, relationships are so hard already that adding that extra layer of some sort of trauma or like having to be obligated to this bigger thing could be even more of a challenge.
But some would argue that for different people, that could help your relationship. Like having like this problem that you need to solve and you need to explain to them.
Sure.
And as long as that person's willing to listen and learn, as long as the other party is willing to teach, it could be great for your relationship.
Yeah. Well, again, that's why you said it was a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I feel like also an age thing too. Because I'll give you a perfect example. Like I dated this girl and she was like, oh, you know, it's cool. She was a Latina. And I started dating white girls. And like, this is when I realized that she really liked me, when she would say, oh, you still dating these white girls? And I was like, oh, well, like, this really affects you. And
she threw a shot.
Right.
Yeah, she was like, oh. I had to come back and talk to her about this. And I was like, oh, well, like, why do you? She's like, because it's funny, it's a Save the Last Dance syndrome.
Yeah.
Where it's like you take all the black guys from the feet.
As the what?
Save the Last Dance.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Yeah, when you said it, I was like, oh, Save the Last Dance syndrome. Like, that's a real thing.
That's a real thing?
That's real.
Crazy.
Like, what you said is a real, it's like from Save the Last Dance.
It's real.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, oh, shit.
Wow.
But it's different. It's like, yo, that's nuts. But it's a thing we live in our society.
Yeah. I would
syndrome at that.
Never heard of that.
I want black women to know that if a black man is dating a white woman, it doesn't mean that he doesn't value you. Always. Sure, there's some that, you know, maybe that's the case, but I think overall in general, there's no way that he doesn't value you the same. You know what I mean? People like who they like. It doesn't mean that I don't value black women if I date a white woman. It doesn't mean that. It can't. It's just that's who I happen to be with. That's who I fell in love with.
Sounds easier said than done.
I agree.
There's a fight there. There's a fight there, Eric. There's a fight.
But you can say that, but there must also be validation for black women's for that experience.
Absence of being with black men.
For that feeling of that loss of, you know, of validation and affirmation and security.
Here's something I'll throw out. Personally, this is like my opinion. I feel like if you're a black man who specifically will not date a black woman, it's because you have insecurities.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you don't want to be held accountable.
Yeah.
You don't want to be challenged. A black woman's going to challenge you. She's also not going to put up with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if you are a black man, you're like, oh, I would never date a black girl. Like I'm over that. That's crazy.
And you think that's tied to the allure of dating a white woman?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, like, because they're trying to understand, and like you said, they want to be accepted. There's this kind of like this thing where they kind of will do anything for you.
And here's my thing though. Niggas are gonna be niggas. So they're going to go to these white women and they're gonna know that they can get some shit across. Like they're gonna know that maybe I can step out a bit more with her.
Oh no, sure.
But that's why I can't completely get with, if a black man is with a white woman, it's because he purely loves her and he wants to be with her. I think the trend right now,
you have to know that is a real thing though.
What?
You have to know that some black guys just fall in love with white girls. Like,
that is a real thing.
Okay.
But to me, I see the trend of, I know I can get away with this, so I'm going over there. And it's a thing. It really, I see that more than I see I'm genuinely happy being with a white girl. I really see that more of the tolerance level. I can play with that more. I don't have to get nagged at. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna hold me accountable, but it's gonna be a little bit more lenient than I've been with my black queens. And
it's a lot more lenient.
I'm just gonna say on this side of the fence, and that leaves the absence of black women being with black men. That's just how I feel. And you were saying the other day, you were like, if you want to make it work, it's gonna work. But I'm like, yeah.
But that's what I was saying about insecurities. It's like, you know, the thing I hear from like my homeboys sometimes is that, like, you know, if it's a black girl and she's on my case and she's acting like my mom, but that's an insecurity on you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You're not strong enough to handle it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the case. I don't want black women to think that they're undervalued, but we have work to do as black men in general. Do you know what I mean? If you're saying that, nah, she reminds me of my mom, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would want it. My girlfriend reminds me of my mom. She does.
Yeah.
Because she'll check me, but I can be checked. I want to be checked. I need to be checked. I mean, especially someone like me. My ego is through the roof.
Check him when you get home.
I'm a handsome man. My ego's through the roof.
Jesus.
Would you say?
Everyone here would say I'm a handsome man.
Anyway.
I'm quiet as a mouse.
Quiet as a church mouse.
I already called you ugly on the first episode. Everyone thought I really meant that too. I was like, come on, guys.
Oh, is there a role play section in this one as well? Oh, should I not say that because I'm Asian and I'll be fetishized?
Oh, God. Yeah, they're gonna
the Asian woman would ask for the role play.
They're gonna be on her.
But yeah, bro. I don't know. It's just, it's honestly, overall, it's just a case-by-case basis.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's case-by-case.
Yep.
But my biggest thing is I don't want to leave this podcast, and if there was one message I could get across, it's that black women
are valued.
They are valued, and they're not undervalued, bro. Every good black men do care.
But you're not, Eric, you're not accounting for the percentage of how rare that is.
I don't.
You're not. So that's why you can't.
I don't think
that's
why
I can't easily get with black women are not undervalued.
I don't think it's rare.
It's out there. It's out there, bro. Like, come on. Like, we're not all there for our queens as we should be. Like, me and you are good black men. I like to think.
I'd like to think so too.
Dave, would you say you're a good black man?
Yeah, Dave. I'm sorry for leaving you out. I think you're Dave. A good black man too.
We got 3 good black men.
Good black men.
That's right.
But I had to learn to get there.
Sure. We all do.
And I think the both of you are coming from a little bit of that perspective. I think you can acknowledge. I think both truths can exist.
Yeah.
Speaking of king and queen, I want to. A part of being a king and a queen is acting as a king and a queen. So, as a black man, and this is personal to me because my father has expressed this before. He's expressed that outside of my home, I'm not treated like a king. So when I come home, I would like to be treated like a king. And oftentimes, in general, black men, when they come home, they feel like they're not being treated like a king. So how can I call you my queen if I'm not treated like a king?
Well, is a queen being treated like a queen?
I don't know. But that's something that.
Thanks for coming to listen to episode 3 of the ModeratelyFly podcast, guys.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a black man, and in society, you're treated as,
dirt.
You know what I mean? You're afraid. It's scary out there. When you get home, you would want to be treated like a king. And maybe that's the allure of a white woman, is that when I get home, I know that I'm going to be treated like a king, waited on hand and foot almost.
Are you asking for submissiveness? Are you asking for, are you really just asking for a do as I say type?
I think in general,
Because go ahead.
I think in general, a lot of black men, weaker black men are going for that.
Yeah.
That's desirable.
Yeah.
And that's why you see so many with white women. That's what I think.
That monologue is going on in your head.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean, because oh God, why do I have to be the one to defend the
Also,
white
Dave, can you hear her well? I feel like she's far from the mic.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to be the one to defend the white folk. Oh, but my proximity to whiteness has me also like a little, because, I hate the stereotype of, Asian women are docile and they're going to take care of you and they're very maternal.
Yeah.
And I think there's a violence in that too, right? And again, this is why the power dynamic, and there's such a strong power imbalance, because, there are just expectations and projections that are coming from both ways. And because it's a case-by-case basis, it does really have to come down to, like what Dave said earlier, the root of it all is the essence of the person, rather than the external factors that are in there. But again, I think also queens deserve to be treated like the queens that they are.
True.
But that, when you see, one of my favorite things to see on social media is like threads of Black joy, right? And you can see and you can almost feel that understanding of, we do treat each other. This is an equitable relationship where we do understand that we have to treat each other because of that shared experience. We know that there's going to be harm for us outside of our solace. And I think that needs to be something that's actually talked about and communicated. At the end of the day, a lot of this, if we forgo the whole, the whole raceness of it, which I don't want to, but we have to in this scenario, that communication is also a very, very, very big thing. There must be talking. There has to be talking. Otherwise nothing's going to come across. I can't read your mind. I don't know what you're thinking unless you tell me.
Yeah.
And it has to be in a way that will help us progress and move forward, rather than someone getting angry or someone getting upset because you came home and I didn't have dinner ready. That's how I view it.
A give and take.
Yeah, and that's all relationships.
Just like any relationship.
Yeah.
That's why she posed the question of, is the queen being treated like a queen?
Because I would also like to know that.
Yeah.
I think Black men need to be treated like kings? Of course. But I think Black women also need to be treated like queens.
So Childish Gambino, I remember watching this on the Breakfast Club. I think it was one of those interviews, but he was talking about, he is with a white woman right now.
Right.
I don't know if he's married or not. Excuse me, but
Is she like Asian?
Is she?
I think she's Asian.
She might be.
She's white.
She's white?
She's white.
I thought she was Asian.
She white, and they have a kid. They have a kid too, but
Okay.
basically
2 kids. Okay.
2. I can't wait to get to your story. He's like, I know Childish Gambino. I wish you would hand me the mic.
Right.
I think you mean Mr. Glover.
You're right. You're right. Bring back Atlanta and I'll call you whatever you want.
Ow.
Anyway, so I just heard that he really started to date white women, or he was able to find his queen because he was deemed as the too nerdy of the guy. He was always like seen as that.
So Black women were interested in him.
Yes. Long story short.
So he moved on.
Yeah. That's much better than, you just sound like my mom. I can't be with you. Like, you just, the way you really coming at me. Like,
What do you mean much better?
So you think that's a better excuse? You think that's a better explanation?
I'm not gonna say it's an excuse, but I can get, it's more of a human excuse. Like a more, it shows to me, it's like you genuinely mean that. Yeah. It's not you running away. I don't know if it's you running away from like your insecurities, but like I think it's you've tested the waters. God damn it, let me just get to it. You've tested. It's not like he didn't date Black women. It's not like he didn't try to shoot his shot. He's tested the waters, and he's came to find that maybe the one time he did go to the other side, it ended up working out for him. Versus Black women are just too abrasive. They're too rude. I don't want them to hold me accountable. Now I'm gonna go to date white, because the tolerance is less. They'll maybe let me step out a bit more. You know what I mean? Like that's
so he's at the root of it. He's saying that Black women just weren't into him, or he feels that way.
Yeah, or they saw him as weird.
I think Dave wants to say something.
Yeah, Dave.
Go ahead,
Dave. What can you add to this?
This is funny. There's 2 stories about this. Right?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
The first story is,
I could be wrong about this shit too.
I went to school with his sister.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny because this is like community time.
Okay, yeah.
Before the
Bet.
first album came out.
Bet.
And I remember she was trying to back this Dominican guy, and she was telling me like, oh, she was saying like, oh, my brother is this, he's famous. This her last name was Glover.
Yeah.
So I remember looking at her like, yo, your brother Donald Glover? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, that's your fucking brother.
Damn, that's
Stop.
crazy.
And she was like, nah, he has a show tonight. I was like, yo, let's go. Like, all right, I'll take you. So we go down, and as we get to the place, it's Bowery Ballroom.
Okay.
We get there, and I'm like, yo, turn around the door. Like, we get in, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of real. We get inside, we do all this. He shows up, and I'm like, oh, this is a fucking brother. Yo.
This is actual Donald Glover.
And it hit me because like I look up to Donald Glover, like
Yeah.
dope dude, and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. I didn't know he made music though at the time.
Yeah.
This is way back, and I'm like, oh, so his show was he opened with comedy, and then he did the music thing.
Bet. Yep.
So I was there like, what the fuck? And like it was just so bizarre for me. I was like, that's kind of crazy. This guy is who the fuck he is. Fast forward, I hear that story too about like Donald Glover, this and that. So girls will always compare me to Donald Glover because I started championing him. I was like, oh, you know, cul-de-sac mixtape came out. I was like, yo, let's do this dope. He's like, oh, you just like he's like you. He's nerdy and black girls don't like you. So I'm like, what? And I started seeing the similarities. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I'm working for this poetry company and I'm DJing for them. And it was like, there was a host that she could have come this week. So they had her best friend come.
Mm-hmm.
And her best friend was like, she's doing her host thing. And I played Terrified.
Yeah.
I played Terrified. Terrified's going off. She's coming down. She's coming on the mic. She's like, damn, yo, like, I knew Donald back in college, you know? And they were like, yo, you're black. He's black. I should get together. And she was like, nah, you know, that's not my kind of guy. This. You know, he's a little too nerdy for me. And I remember she said it, and I looked at her, I was like, what? And I remember I went downstairs, like, yo, that's a real story. She's like, yeah, I knew Donald Glover. Like, yo, like, you just, you know, like, not the kind of guy I want. Like, I want kind of like a rough kind of.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
Yo.
That's real. We don't want to talk about it, but like, black women do have some standards.
Yeah.
And they, you know, everyone should have their own standards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, they want, I hate to bring this up again, but they want Antoine type niggas. The ones that are 6'5", D1 athlete, the deep waves, you know what I'm saying? Like they want that guy. And if you're not cool, if you're not that guy, like it's gonna be hard.
It's getting out of hand now because now they want that guy, but you also have to show a bit of tenderness at times.
Oh yeah, you have to be vulnerable.
It's getting to be a bit hard for these resumes.
Yeah.
You have to. You really got to. You gotta know when to assert the dominance, and then hey, I kind of need you to be a little tender. Kind of need you to show a little something.
Yeah,
like,
going
damn.
back to the Childish Gambino thing, it's like, at what point do you say, these women don't value me, and these other women do? So at what point do you just say, you know what? I'm going to go where I'm valued. There's nothing wrong with that to me. If that's how he felt over and over again and tried, you know, some people say, you know, there's one out there. You need to keep looking. I'm sure. Yeah, of course there is.
Yeah.
But how long do you want to do that? How long do you want to try? How long do you want to, you know what I mean?
Especially if you want to start a family, especially if you have, you know, patriarchal goals that you'd like to achieve.
You just would want to be where you're wanted and valued, and you don't have to put on some persona or anything. You just want to be exactly who you are.
Absolutely.
I think that's coming out too, because I have some female friends or black woman friends. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's female. Ooh, black women friends, and they're into anime, and they're getting turned down by strong, dominant black guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, you're a little too weird for me. You're a little, you know what I mean? So like, it's coming around now, and it's like, how long do they have to stick around for that until they go off and find their white king?
It's real.
Or whoever
White
else they
king.
decide.
Oh. Can't say white king though, right?
Yeah, yee.
Can't say white
Night king. Say night king.
not white king.
You see how? Did you see the
that's
hesitation when I said I was like white?
That's why I've been saying white folk.
White folk.
You just have
find their white folk.
a disdain for them. You just don't.
No, whoa, not disdain. Let's not say that on live TV. This is SNL.
She said she would never date him. Yeah. No, yeah, so it is coming around though. The black guys are not only being too weird now some of the black women are being deemed as too weird and too into what I'm not
I think that this is a good place to stop because this conversation could go on forever. This is
Forever.
this is an ever-changing, constant.
Yeah.
You know, we always have to check in on this conversation.
Absolutely.
It's not going anywhere. We're always gonna have this is gonna be a debate and a conversation till the end of time.
Absolutely.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's gonna do it.
What we got?
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Maybe Ericka will
What?